Seniors across the country quietly swear by it. Docteur studiit. Nutrition expert respeit. And yet most people walk past it every day without any idea what it can truly do for the aging body. It's not locked behind a pharmacy counter. It doesn't come in a bottle with a warning label. It's probably already sitting in your kitchen. And yet, when used the correct way, just one spoonful a day has been linked to younger-looking skin, smoother digestion, steadier energy, calmer joints, and even sharper mental clarity. The catch is simple, but it changes everything. Almost everyone uses it the wrong way. You've heard of chia seeds before. You may have sprinkled them on yogurt or seen them floating in trendy drinks. But what no one ever told you is that for seniors, chia seeds only unlock their real anti-aging power when timing and preparation are done correctly. Without that, the very thing meant to help you can quietly work against you. That's why so many older adults try chia once or twice, feel nothing, and move on. Not because chia doesn't work, but because the method was never shown to them. And today, that changes. Because when chia seeds are used with intention, they don't just support the body. They quietly restore systems that naturally decline with age, from the gut and joints to the heart and the brain. All from one simple daily habit that seems almost too small to matter. But small does not mean weak. For decades, the real problem hasn't been a lack of powerful natural foods. It's been a lack of clear instruction on how to use them correctly. Seniors are often told what to take, but rarely how or when to take it for maximum benefit. Chia seeds are a perfect example of that confusion. They've been labeled as a superfood, so casually that their true value has become easy to dismiss. When something is everywhere, people stop looking closely at it. They assume that simply adding it to a meal is enough. But the aging body doesn't respond the same way it did at 30. Digestion slow. Nutrient absorption becomes less efficient. Inflammation settles into places it never used to live. That means the margin for error grows thinner with every passing year. What once worked well enough may now quietly fall short. And this is where so many older adults get discouraged. They try one more healthy habit. They add one more ingredient to the routine. And when the promised changes don't appear, they assume their body is simply beyond help. The truth is far less discouraging and far more empowering. The body is not rejecting these natural tools. It is waiting for them to be used properly. When timing, preparation, and consistency finally line up with what the aging system actually needs, the response can be surprisingly fast and noticeable. Energy that once felt unpredictable begins to smooth out. Digestion that felt stubborn begins to cooperate. Joints that felt permanently stiff begin to loosen in small, meaningful ways. This is not about chasing youth for the sake of vanity. It is about restoring balance where imbalance has slowly taken over. It is about supporting the organs that quietly keep working every day without complaint until one day they do begin to struggle. And it is about reclaiming a sense of control that many seniors feel slipping away as the years pass. One simple seed cannot stop time, but when used correctly, it can change how the body moves through time. And that distinction makes all the difference. Chia seeds may be tiny, but their nutritional density rivals some of the most powerful foods on the planet. Hidden inside each small seed is a concentrated package of fats, fiber, minerals, and protective compounds that work together in a way few everyday foods can match. Gram for gram, chia delivers more omega-3 fatty acids than salmon, the same essential fats known to calm chronic inflammation, protect delicate blood vessels, and support long-term brain health. These fats are not stimulants that create a quick surge of energy followed by a crash. Instead, they quietly stabilize the systems that control circulation, memory, and cellular repair, which becomes increasingly important as the body ages. Beyond fats, chia contains a rare form of soluble fiber that does far more than simply add bulk to the diet. When it comes into contact with liquid, This fiber forms a gel that slows digestion and feeds beneficial gut bacteria. That internal ecosystem plays a powerful role in how seniors feel each day. The gut is now known to influence immune strength, hormone balance, blood sugar control, cholesterol levels, and even emotional stability. When that system becomes unbalanced, fatigue, poor digestion, frequent illness, and mental fog often follow. Chia helps restore that balance from the inside out, not through stimulation, but through nourishment. The mineral profile of chia seeds adds another layer of protection. Magnesium supports the relaxation of blood vessels and helps regulate heart rhythm. Potassium assists with fluid balance and healthy blood pressure. Calcium contributes to bone strength at a time when bone density naturally declines. Antioxidants within the seed protect cells from oxidative stress, one of the primary drivers of visible and invisible aging. These nutrients do not work in isolation. They operate as a team, reinforcing one another across multiple organs and systems. This is why chia is not a single benefit food. It was never meant to solve one issue at a time. For seniors dealing with sluggish digestion, its gel-forming fiber gently restores regularity without irritation. For those struggling with stiff joints and daily aches, omega-3s help quiet the low-grade inflammation that fuels that discomfort. When blood pressure slowly rises with age, the combined effect of magnesium and potassium supports healthier vessel tone. When focus begins to soften and mental sharpness feels less reliable, healthy fats strengthen the communication between nerve cells. And when unwanted weight settles around the midsection, chia's natural ability to expand in the stomach promotes fullness and steadier appetite control without harsh restriction. What makes chia truly powerful is not that it targets one symptom. It's that it supports nearly every major system that weakens with age at the same time, quietly reinforcing the body where it needs the most help. Here is the mistake that quietly undermines everything. Most people consume chia seeds in their dry, inactive state. They scatter them over hot cereal, toss them into a blender seconds before drinking, or swallow them with a quick gulp of water as if they were a supplement. On the surface, this seems harmless. In reality, it completely changes how chia behaves inside the body. Chia seeds are among the most absorbent natural foods on Earth. Each tiny seed can take in up to 12 times its own weight in liquid. That property is what makes them powerful when used correctly, and problematic when they are not. When dry chia enters the digestive system, it immediately begins pulling water from whatever surroundings it can access. That means moisture is drawn from the stomach, the upper intestines, and nearby tissues. Instead of delivering hydration and gentle fiber, the seeds begin competing with the body for fluids. For younger individuals with fast digestion and strong hydration levels, the discomfort may be minimal or go unnoticed. For seniors, whose digestion naturally slows and whose hydration status is often already compromised, this shift can be significant. The result is bloating that lingers for hours, cramping that feels sudden and intense, and a heavy pressure in the abdomen that is often mistaken for a food intolerance. In more severe cases, especially when large amounts of dry chia are consumed without enough fluid, the swollen seeds can clump together and create partial blockages in the digestive tract. This is rare, but it has happened often enough to be documented. Even without reaching that extreme, the internal dehydration effect alone can worsen constipation, strain the intestinal lining, and reduce the body's ability to absorb other nutrients efficiently. There is also a lesser-known concern for seniors who take daily medications. The way a pill dissolves and moves through the digestive tract depends heavily on water balance. When chia competes for that water, it can subtly interfere with how medications break down and enter the bloodstream. What makes this mistake so widespread is that it looks like a healthy habit from the outside. Many older adults believe they are doing something good for their body by adding dry chia to meals. When discomfort appears afterward, they assume their body simply can't tolerate it. In truth, the issue is not intolerance. It is incomplete preparation. Without water, chia seeds do not behave as a gentle, supportive food. They act as a dense, expanding mass of fiber that the aging digestive system is forced to manage under less than ideal conditions. This explains why some people report feeling worse after starting chia instead of better. The seed itself is not the problem. The way it is introduced into the body is. The true power of chia does not come from simply eating it. It comes from activating it. And activation only happens through proper hydration. Without that step, the benefits remain sealed inside, and the experience shifts from nourishing to uncomfortable. The step that makes all the difference is simple, but non-negotiable. Chia seeds must be soaked before they ever enter the body. Not lightly sprinkled. Not quickly stirred in and consumed right away. Fully hydrated, so the seed is activated before digestion ever begins. The process itself is uncomplicated, but it requires intention. 1 tablespoon is all it takes for a full daily serving. That amount may look small in the glass, but once liquid is added, its transformation begins almost immediately. Half a cup of water, almond milk, coconut milk, or another gentle liquid is enough. The key is to stir thoroughly so the seeds don't stick together and form dry pockets. Once mixed, the waiting period becomes essential. At a minimum, 20 to 30 minutes allows the outer gel layer to form. When prepared the night before and left to rest overnight, the gel becomes even more uniform and gentle on the digestive system. When fully soaked, each seed becomes enveloped in a soft, transparent coating. This gel is not just a visual change. It is the mechanism that shifts chia from a harsh fiber source into a supportive, therapeutic food. The gel prevents the seed from pulling water from the intestinal lining. It controls how quickly nutrients move through the digestive tract. It creates a slow, steady release of energy rather than a spike followed by fatigue. And it dramatically improves how well omega-3 fats and antioxidants are absorbed by the cells that need them most. This is the state in which chia becomes compatible with the aging digestive system rather than a burden on it. For seniors, timing also plays an important role. Morning use is often the most effective for daily regulation. After hours of overnight fasting, the digestive system is rested and responsive. A small serving of soaked chia at the start of the day gently stimulates bowel movement, supports hydration, and provides a stable source of fuel that does not overwhelm the system. Energy tends to feel smoother. Hunger signals become more predictable. Inflammation that quietly builds overnight begins to settle earlier in the day. Some people also choose to take a second small serving in the evening, which can support overnight nutrient release and morning flexibility. But the same rule always applies. It must be fully soaked and never exposed dry to heat. Heat is a hidden enemy of chia's most valuable fats. Adding dry seeds to hot food damages the very omega-3s that make them so beneficial. Soaked chia can be stirred into warm meals after cooking, once the temperature has lowered, without sacrificing its nutritional value. To enhance absorption further, combining soaked chia with vitamin C-rich fruits such as berries or citrus supports antioxidant activity inside the body. And for those sensitive to texture, the gel blends seamlessly into yogurt, smoothies, or soft foods without altering flavor, making it easy to use daily without resistance. When soaked chia becomes a daily habit, the body begins to respond in stages that often surprise people with their consistency. During the first week, the most noticeable shift usually happens in the digestive system. Meals feel lighter. The uncomfortable swelling that once appeared after eating starts to ease. Trips to the bathroom become more regular and less strained, which alone can dramatically improve daily comfort and mood. At the same time, energy levels begin to smooth out. Instead of sharp rises followed by sudden drops, the day feels more even. This steady feeling comes from slower carbohydrate absorption and better hydration inside the digestive tract. The body no longer has to work as hard to manage sudden glucose surges. By the end of the first month, the effects move beyond the gut and into movement itself. Many seniors notice that the stiffness they once accepted as normal in the morning begins to loosen its grip. Standing up becomes easier. Walking feels less restricted. Small activities like climbing stairs, bending to pick something up, or standing in the kitchen no longer require the same mental preparation. This change is not dramatic in a single day, but it accumulates quietly as inflammation in the joints gradually settles. At the same time, the skin often begins to reflect internal changes. It may feel less dry, hold moisture better, and take on a slightly healthier tone as essential fats support the skin barrier from within. By the third month, internal measurements often begin to reflect what the body has already been feeling. Blood pressure readings may trend lower. Cholesterol profiles can begin to shift in a healthier direction. Appetite becomes more predictable, making it easier to eat appropriate portions without feeling deprived. As a result, excess weight, particularly around the midsection, often starts to reduce without aggressive dieting. These physical changes feed into something just as important: confidence. The body feels more dependable. Movements feel safer. Energy feels available again rather than rationed. Nighttime brings another layer of benefit that many people overlook. As the body ages, it naturally enters a more catabolic state during sleep, meaning it breaks down tissue faster than it rebuilds it. This contributes to muscle loss, morning stiffness, and slow recovery. A small serving of soaked chia in the evening releases nutrients slowly over several hours rather than all at once. This steady supply helps stabilize blood sugar through the night and provides the building blocks needed for repair. Over time, mornings begin to feel different. Instead of waking with heavy joints and lingering fatigue, the body starts the day with more ease, more flexibility, and a deeper sense of restored strength. What separates real results from wishful thinking is not the seed itself, but consistency. One spoon once in a while won't change anything, but one spoon every day quietly reshapes how the body ages. The aging body responds far more to rhythm than to intensity. It thrives on repeated signals of care, not sudden bursts of effort followed by long gaps. This is why consistency matters more than motivation. Motivation fade. Routine stays. And when a small habit becomes part of the daily flow, the body begins to adjust its expectations and its behavior in response. The simplest way to stay consistent is to remove decision-making from the process. When a habit requires daily willpower, it rarely survives long. When it is attached to something that already happens every day, it almost runs on autopilot. Preparing soaked chia at night and placing it in the refrigerator creates a silent reminder for the morning. It becomes as automatic as reaching for a glass of water or switching on the coffee maker. Over time, the body even begins to anticipate it. Un jeu qui shift. Digestive rhythms sync with the routine. What once felt like an effort slowly becomes part of the day's natural pattern. Taste and texture matter more than most people admit, especially when building a long-term habit. A routine that feels dull or unpleasant rarely lasts. Small adjustments turn chia from a chore into something enjoyable. A few crushed berries add brightness. A pinch of cinnamon brings warmth. A drop of vanilla softens the flavor. Cacao adds depth. These are small touches, but they transform the experience from something I should do into something I want to do. That shift is what sustains a habit over months and years. Missed days will happen. Life interrupts every routine at some point. The difference between success and abandonment is the response to those interruptions. Missing one day does not erase progress. Quitting altogether does. The body does not demand perfection. It responds to return. Coming back to the habit the very next day keeps the long-term signal intact. Over time, those repeated returns build resilience not just in the body, but in mindset as well. As months pass, the changes stop feeling like separate improvements and start feeling like a new baseline. Movements that once felt guarded feel more natural. Digestion becomes something you no longer have to think about. Energy stays available without being forced. One day you noticed that you carried groceries without bracing yourself. Un autre day you realize you walked farted inusual without needing a break. These moments arrive quietly, without ceremony, but they mark real change. This was never truly about chia seeds. It was about what happens when one small, repeatable action becomes a daily investment in the body that carries you through life. Aging is unavoidable. Decline is not. And sometimes the space between the two is nothing more than a single, well-kept habit practiced with care.